So the yoga mat can be used as a prop, and we're going to use it as a prop tonight to lie on. So I don't know if you can see me okay, but if you lie on it from the top of your head until about the base of your rib cage, that's what I'm going for. And I'm going to put my feet at the wall. So I've got lots of room to move my arms. So make sure you have lots of room to move your arms because you're going to need it. And I'm placing that mat at the base of my rib cage, arms to the side. I'm just going to really check, make sure I've got enough room. Moving any props in the way. So just making sure you can angel arm your hands. And when you're ready, we're just going to start with this. It's just moving your arms to the side. Inhale, the arms coming up. And exhale, your arms coming down. And as you inhale, you can spread your fingers apart if you'd like. And just bringing your arms to your place. Some of you have injuries, and bringing your arms very high is not going to be comfortable, so feel free to adjust. Now, when I exhale, I usually bend my elbows, so I get between my shoulder blades, and I get into the lower trapezius, middle trapezius, and maybe even the rhomboids deep between the shoulder blades. They're hard to get into, but this one massages those little muscles that are hard to get into and get bunched up. So you can play with that if you like. Inhale up. If you like, add a little stretch at the top. Inhale, stretching the hands away from you, and exhale, bending down. Focusing on the breath. We're going to practice inhaling first into the front body. Inhale, upper back, middle back, lower back. And exhale, drawing the pelvic floor in, the lower belly, the belly button in, the chest falls. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I'm going to cue the front body now. Inhale, upper chest, lower chest, full belly expanding. And then I tuck my chin in at the top as well. And exhale, coming down. Now, if this rolled mat is not comfortable, you can get rid of it. You can also use a rolled blanket. For some people, they prefer something softer, a rolled towel. Or if you've got one of those strips that is used for the upper back to open it, you can use that prop, that special prop that some people have. And then, if it's comfortable, just bending the elbows, inhale, straighten them straight up to your place. And exhale, bend the elbows and draw them down to your place, keeping the elbows bent and squeeze a little bit deeper. Inhale, extend. And again, I tuck the chin in at the top, Jalandhara Bandha, and exhale, bend. Ujjayi pranayama, constricting the throat, using the voice. When we're working with the neck, it's a wonderful opportunity to work with the voice. So listen to your breath. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm noticing if when I bend, one of my hands is coming off the ground a little bit. And for myself, I'm feeling a bit of a rotation of my torso towards the left, which is a common thing for me. And my left arm just doesn't move quite my right arm doesn't move quite the same way as my left. So just notice those discrepancies and see if you can even it out at all by adjusting. And then when you're ready, just staying with your arms at the side anywhere you like. It might be low, medium, or high, arms bent or straight. And just rest here and notice what you feel. Breathing. Inhale, upper chest, middle chest, lower chest, full belly. If you're having any tingling in the hands, please adjust your arms. So if you've got something going on in your upper back, neck and shoulders, there might be some tingling into the hands with the nerves. So just move out of that place. If that's happening as you stay, if it feels better, you can always move the arms rather than stay for the nerves. You can keep adjusting where the arms are. And again, notice if you're feeling one shoulder more than the other. When you're ready, bring your hand to your belly. And as you inhale, bring your arms to the side at hip height. Just that, very, very simple. Exhale, hands to the belly. And with this rolled mat, you're going to feel this in your back body in a slightly different way. Inhale, if it's possible, bring your hands to the side, coming directly out of the elbows, wrists aligned with the elbows. See how that feels. And exhale, hands to the base of the sternum or stomach area. And third position, inhale, hands to shoulder height. If one of these positions doesn't work, do the lower position until it feels correct for your body. Exhale, hands to the sternum. Inhale, hands coming to the sides, wrists in line with the elbows, second position. Exhale, hands to the belly. Keeping the elbows stable as you do this. Inhale, hands to hip height. So for those of you who have a lot of discomfort in your upper back, and there are a few of you in the room who have that, this is one of my favorite exercises for really isolating the movement of the upper back and keeping the shoulders in place and the elbows in place. So we're going to do that again in your own time. Inhale, arms coming to hip height, palms open. Exhale, keep the elbows stable as the hands come to your stomach or sternum. Inhale, Wrists in line with the elbows as you bring your hands to the side, and I think of these as puppet arms, keeping your elbows stable. Exhale, hands maybe to the heart if that feels comfortable for you. Inhale, let's bring the hands again to that shoulder position. Exhale, hands to the sternum. Inhale, wrists lining up with elbows. Exhale, hands to the belly. And inhale, arms and hands at hip height. So hands down by your hips. And just rest here again. Find a place that feels good. Arms, hands, anywhere that feels good for you. And if you've got a knot in your upper back, you might be able to squeeze your elbows together and get at that place in this position. And then release. As you exhale, squeeze. As you draw your elbows in, maybe squeeze your wrists as well. And inhale, release. And again, exhale, bending, squeezing, hold. And inhale, release. And just stay here and rest. All right. So we're going to do one more with this rolled mat in this direction, and then we're going to put it aside for a little bit. So inhale, I want you to bring your hands up to the sky. And you're going to exhale here. As you draw your hands away towards the sky, exhale. And inhale, bring your hands to your heart. And you can keep your hands in namaste position, or what I like to do is massage through the pecs and just open my elbows resting on the ground. That's inhale. Exhale, bringing them up and rounding, and drawing the belly in. And inhale, coming down and opening the chest. So this is an inhale because the chest is opening. And exhale, arms up as you're rounding. Really working with those shoulder blades. Inhale, opening. And exhale, contracting. Keep this going in your own timing. And again, notice any discrepancies between sides. One shoulder blade feels a little different than the other, and you might find it changes. One period of your life it'll be one shoulder, another will be another, or maybe it's always the same one, injury. And just notice which exercises feel best. So I think it's always great to have those poses that you can do, just one or two poses you can do when you have pain, and just do them throughout the day when you're having a day like that. So just see if you can find one of these or two of these positions that feels really good for your body, and try to remember that. You'll have the video to review. And then resting at the side again. The elbows can be bent. You could do that squeeze, exhale, and inhale, release if you like. Or just rest, don't move. So all these chest openers are also really work with heart health. For those of you who have any heart issues, in yoga therapy, we use these chest thoracic mobility poses to work with the physical as well as the emotional heart. And release. We know that stress levels affect heart health. So any opportunity we can give ourselves to relax, let go. And in my own life, I'm really working on when something arises to try to work with it somatically as quickly as possible through movement, breathing, meditation, as quickly as possible to discharge it out of the system. Otherwise, we do tend to hold on to things in our body-mind, even if we feel relatively okay because our coping mechanisms are good. So try to bring random acts of yoga into your life. When you're ready, bending your knees and rolling to one side. Just stay here for a moment in side child. And when you're ready, coming up. And we're going to take this mat, we're going to move it the other direction. Now, the other direction is, and again, it can be a rolled blanket if this doesn't feel good. The other direction is going across the back of the heart. And your arms and your armpits in particular are not in the class to go around, but I check this very carefully when I have a class. Make sure your shoulders are on the ground. So I'm going to show it, and I'm going to probably show it seated too, so you can see. So it's around here. I don't know if you can see that. So if I'm holding it with my arms, I can actually hold the end of the mat. So it's right across, if you have a bra on, sorry for the guys in the room, it's right at the bra strap area or the back of the heart. Make sure your shoulders are on the ground. And I am going to go give a little check and have a look at you all, if I can see you. Oh, no, I can't see you. This is why I don't do this so much, because I actually can't see most of you. You're all in your living rooms. Anyway, I trust you're doing it right. So take your mat. The other thing that you might be noticing is that your chin is sticking up to the sky. So if your chin is sticking up to the sky, to put a blanket or a pillow under your head, okay? So that you've got support. It's a very, very gentle chest opener. Okay, I'm not going to use that for myself, but please do, you need to. And move it until it's comfortable. You might need to make it a little lower. Shoulders completely on the floor. The mat is below my armpits. My shoulders are rolling back. My lower back, if it hurts, bend your knees. You can put a pillow cushion under your thighs if you like. And just lying here for a few breaths. Just feeling this prop, adjusting it. And just keep that going. I'm just going to check. So if you can't do that pose, I just saw the chat from one of you. If you can't do that pose, you can do it without the rolled mat always, okay? So that's always an option, is do it without the rolled mat. So if it's hurting your shoulder or anything, just do it without. And if you're not muted, please do mute yourself. Thank you. And just lie here and breathe. And notice if you're feeling one side of your upper back more than the other, one shoulder more than the other. And I'm going to cue the breath from the back body to the front body, see if that feels good. Alternatively, you can breathe from the front body to the front body. So I'll do it both ways and pick what feels best for you. Inhale, upper back, middle back, lower back. And hold after inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Feel free to adjust the arms higher or lower to comfort. Inhale. Now try with the upper chest, lower chest, whole belly. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Keep this going, or if it's too much, breathing into the chest, because it's moving your chest too much for you, just breathe into the belly. So even breathing into the chest does mobilize things there. So if it's too much, you can just do belly breathing. Inhale, upper back, middle back, lower back, all expanding into the floor, expanding into the back body. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Inhale, upper back, middle back, lower back, full belly. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. And rest. We're going to start doing some movement with our legs and our arms in this position. If your head needs support, please take either a pillow about this length but not this width. This one's too thick. Well, it might be good for you. For me, it would be too thick. Or a blanket and fold it into about this position so that when your head moves side to side, it's going to stay supported all the way. Otherwise, if you use something like this, your head's going to fall off and it won't be comfortable. So try to avoid that. Necks can be very finicky, so we'll be very gentle with our necks. Create lots of room for yourself because you are going to be dancing and moving in this twist. So I've renamed this twist the dancing twist. So I think I first discovered it when I was at dance school in my mid-20s. Inhale here. And as you exhale, bringing your knees to the right, sliding your left hand along your chest and your right arm to your hand and rolling your head all the way to the forehead and stretching into that right shoulder. And then inhale, opening back to the center and going into any of those tight spots. Exhale, other side. Hand coming on the heart, the left shoulder, left arm, left hand. And inhale, opening back up. And just keep going side to side. If you want to take it up a notch, you can sundial the arm overhead and down as you move to the side. So I'm showing it that way now. If you want to add on, this is much harder. Maybe you need more space in your apartment or house, so beware. Going side to side, now you might find that you slide a little bit on the mat and you need to readjust yourself. So that's also fine. As I said, it's the dancing twist, so it does tend to dance. And Leslie, I think this pose might be very helpful for that left shoulder. We can talk about that later. Just going side to side. You can do this without the rolled mat if the rolled mat is not comfortable. You don't have to have the rolled mat. That's an add-on. Just makes it a little bit more intense and gives you a bit more of a massage of the back body, which in yoga, it's really hard for us to get into that back body. So it's nice to go for a massage. But during COVID-19, it's been a little harder for us to get to massages. Fortunately, in British Columbia, they've opened that up, but if you're watching this from other parts of the world, that's not necessarily the case. So a yoga practice can be like a self-massage that you give yourself. When you feel you're complete, you might not. Sometimes I'll do a pose for 15 minutes or so. We're having a cool June, so I've still got my sweater on. Just lie in the center and notice how you feel. And feel free to adjust where you are on that mat. You might be able to bring it a little higher if you're feeling a bit more open. A little bit lower in the beginning. So just find that perfect spot of comfort and stability. And when you're ready, rolling to one side, coming off that rolled mat, and we're going to put that to the side. You might come back to it later, maybe not. We'll see how the class goes. And we're just going to lie on our backs now, and we're going to do this movement, but make sure you seat it just to help you. You're on your backs. So you're going to inhale, you're going to bring your arms up over your head to the floor behind you if that works for you. Otherwise, just adjust your arms. They could be bent, for example, or they could just be wider. So inhale here, exhale, bring your right arm down, and I'm mirroring for you, and turn your head to the right. Now when I do this, you can probably see in the video that looks like my nose is looking down. So try to bring the top of your head more towards that top arm. That's quite hard to do seated. Lying down, it's much easier. You have the support of the floor. Inhale, arms coming up and your chin in. Exhale, other side. And notice if one side is easier to rotate to than the other. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the floor now. I'm going to try this way. You might be able to see me a little bit better, actually. Let's see if you like this. Exhale, right arm down, turning your head to the right. Now you can try staying here for a breath or two in this position before you switch. As I exhale, I turn a little bit more. Sometimes I bend that top arm quite a bit or adjust where it is in space. And inhale, untwist the head and come up. And exhale, other side. And remembering to bring the top of the head more towards the top arm. And just adjusting the arms until you find that sweet spot, a little wider, or maybe stretching the arm long to the floor behind you. So just feel what feels best. And just going side to side, rolling the head center, inhale, arms up. Maybe the chin tucks in, Jalan Zarabandha, the chin lock. Feel the back of the head pressing into the floor. And exhale, other side. And switching sides when you feel ready. When you're ready, coming out of the pose, maybe staying with your arms overhead to the floor behind you or another place that feels good for you. The palms could be facing up, or maybe you bring the palms together, or maybe you interlock the fingers and stretch the hands away from you overhead. And inhale, stretch nice and long, Tadaka Mudra. And exhale, release the hands on top of the head, elbows down. Inhale, stretching the hands away from you, chin in if that feels good. And exhale, release, hands on top of the head. Keep this going your own timing. It's also getting into the wrists. Good for all that computer work some of us are doing during this time of remote teaching, or if you're a healthcare practitioner of any sort, you're probably seeing people online. Or going to meetings, or just doing social activities, a lot of them online now, birthday parties, playing cards, going to movies. It's amazing how adaptive we all are to the new normal. And just release and rest. And in this position, just going to check on you for a minute since I can't see you. It's okay. So I'm just going to stay facing this way because I think you'll be able to see the next pose better if he's like this too. You can tell me after if you think that was a good idea. So we're going to work on the banana pose, which is one of my favorite poses for the upper back as well as the lower back as well as the hips. So it's a good all-round pose. You're going to walk your feet to one side, and I invite you to walk your feet to the side where you think the stretch will be easier on the opposite side. So I'm going to start by walking my feet to the left, because my right side is easier to stretch than my left. And then the side you go to, if you like, if you want to try to keep that outside hip down, you take that foot on top. So my feet are to the left, and I'm bringing my left foot on top of my right ankle. If your feet are to the right, you're going to bring the right foot on top of the left ankle rather. And then you can just stay here if you want, and you can move your arms, inhale up, exhale down, or a stay pose is walking your shoulders also over to the same side your ankles are on. So mine are going to the left. And then maybe bringing your arms up, keeping your elbows down. Now, where you feel this will depend on where your tightness is. So in my body, because of my scoliosis, I feel this in my right lower back and hip because I have a compensating curve for my upper back right here. But for some of you, you might feel this in the upper back. Some of you might feel it in the hip. Likely, you're going to be feeling it on the side that's being stretched. And just breathe here. If you want to make it more intense, you might straighten that top arm and hold the wrist, or interlock the fingers. If it's too intense, you could put a pillow underneath your arms, or you could put a pillow underneath your thighs as well for the lower back. And breathe here. Let's do hold after inhale. Let's do upper chest, lower chest, full belly. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Inhale, upper chest, lower chest, full belly expands, hold, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. If it feels better, you can breathe into the back body as you inhale and front body as you exhale. Or even better, if you can breathe into the whole chest, front, back, sides, all of it, even better. You can just try on different breaths to feel the breath in different parts of the torso, the front, the back, the sides, just so that you're getting into those intercostal muscles between the ribs. They can get very tight from our lifestyles, sedentary lifestyles. And also just with age. So this pose is wonderful for asthma, for immunity, for working with the lungs, as well as the chest and the lower back hips. A hold after inhale brings prana, energy into the system. And once that's assimilated into the system, it's called ojas or soma, vitality, immunity, strength. When you've had enough, you're going to release it, switch sides. Feel free to stay longer if you know this is your tighter side, but I suggest you start with the easier side and then go to your harder side. So I'm bringing my feet to the right now. You might be doing the opposite if it's your harder side. And I'm bringing my right foot over my left. And my shoulders are going over to my right. And on this side, I feel it more in my upper back. So again, notice if on one side you feel it in one part of the body versus the other, and I'll tell you a little bit about some things going on in your spine as well. And this pose can help even out those imbalances if you have one lung that doesn't expand as much as the other. We're going to do some work with that later in our pranayama practice. When you're ready, Ujjayi Pranayama with hold after inhale, 3 or more seconds. If your exhale, you're gasping, in your exhale, you've held too long. We're to about 70 or 80% of your capacity, not more. If you overwork, overextend the breath, you will negatively impact the nervous system, which is not what we want. So just finding what's just right for you. And again, you can stretch that top arm, especially if on this side your upper back is more compressed. You can stretch that top arm and get a bit deeper into the upper back. I find this pose with the legs, that aspect can really help if one hip, if you've got a bit of an upslip of a hip, one hip is higher than the other, it can actually help bring it down. A little bit of traction through those ligaments in the hip. So just adjusting the pose to get the most benefit for you. And when you're ready to release, bringing your legs back to the center. And I'm going to go back to side view, which is why I'm not using that, because I keep switching around where I am. So inhale here and exhale, bring your knees to your chest. Inhale, knees away. Apanasana. And exhale, pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Now, if you want to focus on your neck and shoulders, try it this way. Inhale. As you inhale, roll your shoulders forward. And bring your knees really far away. Make sure that doesn't stress out your neck. And exhale, roll your shoulders back and down. The shoulder blades down your back at the end of the exhale. So you can adjust this pose to work on your shoulders. If you want to work with your lower back, just skip this shoulder piece and focus your attention on the lower back. This pose is also used for constipation of mind and body, so stress, lack of grounding. If that's your focus, work on drawing in Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, pelvic floor lock all the way to the belly button in, and stomach up. If you haven't eaten much before class, if you haven't, please don't do that. And if that's all feeling good and you want to work on strengthening the neck a little bit, hugging the knees on top, or if you have knee issues, knee replacements, or you're about to have knee replacements, hold underneath the knees. You can also put a belt underneath the thighs and hold that belt. So you put a belt right here too. In this position, as you exhale, if it's comfortable, tuck your chin in and bring your head up. And then inhale, roll back down. This is strengthening for the neck flexors. This front of the neck can be very weak. And I've started using this also for working with thyroid issues, just to squeeze that area, compress, change blood flow. If you have a weak neck, this might not be a good idea. On the inhale, you can also roll the chin up. That might feel good for your neck as well. Exhale, tucking the chin in and coming up. Squeeze. And inhale, rolling down and maybe lifting the chin up and moving the head the other direction. Try this a few more times, or alternatively, just moving the legs, shoulders forward and back. I'm doing a hold after exhale. And just finishing up. And rest. Okay, so we're going to try some prone poses. If you have a tendency to get headaches, just really warn you not to lift your head up and look at the screen. As you lift your head up, we're going to do cobra. So I'll just show you what I don't want you to do. And I think I will try facing this way again. I think you'll be able to see me better. So I've got my feet at the wall. And I'll show side view later, just in case I'm wrong on this. So we started this a few weeks ago for the lower back. And we'll just start with that, with the hands folded and the forehead on the hands. Start with the beginning of the pose. You're going to inhale, straighten the legs. My knees are off the ground. And I'm straightening my legs. My toes are tucked under, and my toes are on the baseboard. If you have a baseboard to work with, this is a nice way to do, but you don't need to. You can just tuck your toes under. I'm showing that now. And stretch as hard as you can. You could put a block between your thighs if you want to work a little harder. Exhale, release. Knees down. Inhale, extend. Now I'm starting to lift my chest up as I do this. Now keep the chin in, don't look at me. Keep your chin in so the top of the head is aligned with the base of your spine. Inhale here, exhale, down. Keep this going. This arm position is not working for you. Adjust where the hands are until it feels better. Maybe hands apart feels better for you. And you have a pillow that you use as a landing pad for the forehead. So this is another option. So really baby your neck. This is strengthening for the neck because it's not being supported by the floor and the upper back. Keep that chin tucked in to avoid compressing the neck. It definitely can lead to headaches. I'm going to not use that prop myself. Now another possibility is you exhale, you can turn your head to one side to work on rotation. Inhale, coming up. You can adjust the arms also so the hands are by your sides. Moving the head side to side. Release the shoulders down. Release the knees down as you exhale. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Chin in. Extend through the legs. Reach the hands down by your sides. Exhale, release. Bhujangasana Cobra. Focus on strengthening neck and shoulders. This is also going into the lower back because we're stabilizing through the lower back before we move into the upper back. Now, if you want to add on, you can inhale, you can sweep one hand forward and salute. Exhale, sweep it back, turn your head away, coming down. Other side. Other hand coming forward to your forehead, chin tucked in. Exhale, turn the head away as you bring the hand down. If you want to make it harder, make the lever longer. Bring that hand 3/4 away from you and coming up. This is very strengthening for the neck and shoulders. If you want to work harder still, bring the arm along in line with your ear, palm to the center. Turning your head away as you exhale. And if you want to work harder still, you can bring both arms up. Palms together. For most of us, it's going to be hard to get much height as we do that. You can add a pillow or blanket under the hips, fold it, to give yourself more height. So it's on the, let me see, the stomach and just the top of the hips. So that, I'll just show you, gives you a lot more height. So you can play with that if it feels good. Try with bent arms. Most of us, straight arms, not really such a good idea. So bend the arms and bring them to a salute position. Probably a better choice. Or to that 3/4 position. And one more. And rest. And when you're ready, moving into child's pose. You can have a cushion under your head if you like. Or you might feel better with your head on the ground, or fold your hands, rest your forehead on the folded hands. You might like to bring your knees apart, to bring your chest more to the floor. Now in this position, whatever your child's pose is, let me show it this way. I want you to bring your arms to one side. And breathe here. You might want a cushion under your forehead to give you a bit more support. What I'm doing is I have one arm straight and the other is bent because one side is a little shorter than the other. So that's another option. If you know one side's a bit more compressed, you can lengthen that and bend the other side. Otherwise, keep both sides straight. And then going through the center and then to the other side. And again, just adjusting for you. Let's test it out, see what feels better today. And then you can have all the theories in the world, but ultimately what feels best is probably what's going to be best for you today. When you're ready, coming back to your center. If it's comfortable sitting up for a minute, just want to do some neck stretches before we move into our Shavasana. Just bringing your head to one side, ear towards your shoulder. You can have the opposite hand away. Just stretching to the side of the neck And again, if you have a headache or anything at this point, probably means you overdid it in that Bhujangasana, so please just lie down and rest. If that's the case. And when you feel ready, switching sides. Notice one side's different than the other. Do one more round. So your head, I often do these after doing Bhujangasana, the Cobra, because that's quite a bit of work on the neck and shoulders in terms of strength, and everything might seize up, which can lead to pain. So let me stretch it out. You might want to bring the head, the nose facing towards the armpit. Feel a little bit of a different stretch. And switching sides. Ear towards shoulder to begin. And then maybe turning the nose down towards the armpit. So, since we're here, I'm going to give you the option of either doing Shavasana and lining your back, or if you want, join me for some pranayama, some special pranayama. It's our last Thursday night, and I've been wanting to teach this to you. This is something I learned when I was last in India, and I've been using it in my own practice. And for me, it's working on strengthening my left lung, which tends to be weaker than my right because of my scoliosis. But in any event, we're going to be working one lung at a time and one side of the body at a time. And you can notice if one side feels a little bit different than the other while we do this. So before we start, I'm just going to do one more stretch for the neck, which I forgot to do. So hands on the back of the head. You can be just lying in Shavasana if you've had enough at this point. And just with the chin down, widen those elbows a little bit and bring the head back to the hands. Stretch through the trapezius, that big diamond on the upper back, into the neck and head. And exhale, release. Inhale, bring the head back. Elbows wide. Exhale, release. And again. When you feel ready, release that. Just see how you feel. So I'm going to be taking my rings off for this one. If you have rings on, you might want to take them off. So feel free. This is something I normally do before my pranayama practice in a safe spot, because we're going to be using the fingers. And it's nice to give your hands a little break from all those rings if you've got them. So I think last week, it was Sunday class actually, we did this in the asana. So I'm going to come a little closer so you can see my hands. So
you're going to, it's one of those crazy yoga things from India. You're going to bring your hands can be on the floor, by the way, completely rested. I'm doing this so that you can see me, okay? So don't stress your neck and shoulders. Inhale, bring your thumbs up your index fingers. This is for the people with carpal tunnel and wrist issues and nerve pain. Exhale, bring the fingers down the thumbs and flick. Now, if that's not working, you can just press any of the joints, okay, as we do this. Next finger, inhale, thumb up the middle finger, press as hard as you can. Try to get those nadis, or those little rivers of energy, 72,000 of them coming out of the gut. And exhale, that middle finger down the thumb. And flick. So if you've got hand and wrists, upper back issues, this is a great one. Inhale, thumb pressing up the ring finger. Great for arthritis in the hands. And exhale, ring finger down the thumbs. And flick. I do this almost every day, so I'm getting fairly good at it. Inhale, thumb up the little finger. I think when I started, when I was 30, the first time I did this, my teacher Reagh, I was like, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And exhale, finger down the thumb and flick. Okay, so if that's too much, again, you can just play with pressing the joints, or you can just press the tops of the fingers. There's many versions of this that we do. Okay, so we're going to do this while we breathe. You can see my hands. Okay, and you can be doing this in Shavasana as well. I often give this in Shavasana, so you could be lying down and doing this. You could be lying also on that rolled mat if you like. So inhale, I'm going to do that movement. Exhale, release. Now, I'm going to add some breathing to this. So I'm going to breathe using my right hand, as I've shown you in the crow mudra, like this, or the murgi mudra, like this, or word up. Any of those hand positions, easiest is just like this. I'm going to inhale left, exhale right. This is the moon breath. Inhale left, exhale right. And on my other hand, this is my left hand, I'm going to be doing all this finger movement. If that is too much, you can ignore that, or you can just do the finger movement with both hands and breathe into both nostrils as you lie on your back or sit. We'll do this together. Inhale left. And I'm counting my breath with my other hand by doing this vinyasa. Up my finger and down. Exhale, right. Keeping my right elbow nice and high. And flick. As I do this, I want you to think about breathing into your left lung. Hold after inhale, 2 to 3 seconds. And exhale, breathing out through the center. So we're trying to bring some extra breath into that left lung. You know your right lung or your right side needs more support. You can do the opposite breathing. But just know that's a sun breath and it's pretty activating for the end of the day. This is the moon breath for the mind. Inhale left, exhale right. Hold after inhale. And I'm using the vinyasa movement to count 4 rounds of breath. After those 4 rounds, I'm going to switch my hands. This is not traditional. I do this for therapeutic reasons so that one side doesn't get stressed by holding my hand up too long. Now I'm doing the asana with my right hand. And I'm doing the breathing mudra with my left. Focusing on breathing into that left lung. Hold after inhale. And exhale through the center pelvic floor up. Keep that left elbow high. And just finishing up. In the center, 4 breaths. If you would like, add a little bit of movement of the arms. Inhale, arms side. Thumbs back if that feels good in your neck and shoulders. Upper back, exhale, release. Rounding the spine. Also slide the hands on the thighs. Inhale, shoulders up and back, elbows pointing back. And exhale, rounding forward. Take your medicine, visualizing the full moon. If you like, exhale. Finishing together with Om Shanti, hands at the heart. And if you like, bring your hands away and imagine you're holding that full moon all around you. This full moon representing the cool, clear mind filled with soma, energy, immunity, vitality, warm, not hot, not cold, just right. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.